Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of the Fifth Quarter. I'm your host, Mitchell Harusi.
And I'm Parker Gurnett.
And I'm Matt Volz.
Before we get started, Matt has a special message from Fredonia itself.
I do. The Fredonia Radio System's legacy show, The Local Lowdown, is presenting a music show called The Beach Fest. There will be vendors to sell their products, such as Fredonia Radio System's records and CDs, Oopsie art by Sarah, and more. Dressing up like you're on the beach is highly suggested. The music that all the Beach Boys will be jamming out to is the Burkharts, Johnny and the Man Kids, Beach Tower, Star Juice, and Fruit Fly. The Local Lowdown Beach Fest event is on November 11th at Main Street Studios at 50 West Main Street in Fredonia. Doors are at 7 p.m. and music is at 7:30. And I want to apologize. My voice is rather raspy. I'm getting over a little bit of a head cold I was dealing with over the weekend. Or I yelled too much at the Bills last night. I don't know.
Speaking of the Bills, we'll get right into that. Another great week of football under our belt. Bills lost I don't even know if you can call it heartbreaker, because I don't think anyone expected anything else last night. We lost 24-18. We now fall to, or not we, the Bills fall to 5-4. The Bengals improved to 5-3. Guys, what do we even say here?
Man, I mean, it's just like I guess my issue with it is that you've got a defense, and I thought about this last night. You've got a defense that is down so many starters, and they held Joe Burrow and the Cincinnati Bengals to 24 points. Your offense, which is at least for the most part healthy, scored 10 points outside of
That final drive.
outside of the open. Yeah, I mean, like
5 minutes left. We scored 4 minutes.
It was like 4 minutes and some odd seconds.
Yeah, and between the opening drive touchdown and when they scored in the fourth quarter, that's 3 points on the board from an offense that's supposed to be one of the best attacks in the league.
You want my honest opinion here?
No.
I love it.
We have arguably one of the greatest quarterbacks in franchise history.
I think
without
the best.
Without
The best.
question.
So, and I say arguably because you can argue Jim Kelly. That's why I say arguably.
Yeah, it's between. I'd say it's between the two for the best ever.
But you have the.
Emmanuel.
Did you
say E.J. Manuel?
My mom will love
come
that
on,
one.
get out of here. Jeez, Trent Edwards is up there.
But when is it going to be enough for Terry Pegula to step in and say something needs to change? That this I can see the argument we're wasting his prime right now. It's the same garbage year after year, week after week, excuse after excuse. When are we going to make the change? Yes, Sean McDermott. I love Sean McDermott.
Yep.
But when is it time to make the change? Because we cannot keep dealing with this mediocrity. Oh, we'll make the playoff. Like right now, we have a 45% chance making the playoffs.
Yeah.
I think. When is mediocrity going to be enough? When are we going to get over this hump? Something needs to change, and it should be starting next week with Joe Brady calling the plays. That's my opinion.
All right.
Joe Brady should be calling these plays, and Ken Dorsey, he can be the offensive coordinator because Sean McDermott ain't going to take that away from him, or they ain't going to fire him midseason.
No, and he already said that today. They asked him about it, and it was an emphatic no.
But something on that offense needs to change, and I think it starts with Joe Brady calling the plays. If you look at some of the highlights from the game, Joe Brady's over there discussing plays with Allen mid-game.
Yep.
I mean, obviously there's some discrepancy there, but that's my opinion. It needs to change, and it needs to change now. Because you're 5-4. The season looks gone. But
That's being argued, right?
You can change it right now. Turn your season around, and it needs to start next week. You're facing a Denver Broncos team who is not good.
Yep.
If you can't somehow pull off a victory like you did against Miami next week against the Broncos, you should be ashamed and embarrassed as an organization.
Well, and the other aspect of that too is like to the point about the Broncos. The Broncos just gave up 70 points to Miami a couple weeks ago. If you can't, if you're coming out and the Bills have gone, 5 games in a row, scoring less than 25 points or 25 or fewer points, I think it is, which is the first time that's happened since Allen's rookie year.
2 of those starts were Derek Anderson, by the way.
Yes, exactly. So it's never happened with Josh Allen starting every game. So what is going on? Derek Anderson, man. That's you know that's going to be in 25 years, that's going to be a trivia question, like a Bills trivia question, who randomly started 2 games in 2018?
Who started the 2018 Monday Night Football game against the Patriots?
Oh man, I still believe to this day, if Josh Allen was healthy, the Bills would have won that game.
Oh, yeah.
Buffalo's defense was locked in that night. They shut down Brady and the Patriots in that game, but that was, oh my gosh. I mean, we could sit here forever and just name all the old ridiculous Bills quarterbacks. Man, some love for Jeff Toole.
We should do that for the Radiothon.
There you go. There's our Radiothon golden idea.
Just name Bills quarterback that started during the drought.
Jeez. Oh my, well, there's a list somewhere.
Drop a Thad Lewis in there.
Oh, man, Thad Lewis was actually good, too. I liked Thad Lewis. He was good. I mean, he led them to a win over Miami that season. Like,
it was electric.
He was good. Like, they had some other, like, I don't know. I'm trying to think of who else they had. I mean, the Kyle Orton season, that's not going to be forgotten. But
that was
like,
amazing.
The Kyle Orton season.
Game-winning drive against the Vikings.
Oh, that was
Chris
beautiful.
Hogan.
That was gorgeous. The throw to Hogan to the 1 yard line and then the winner to Sammy. When one of the rare times Sammy Watkins was not injured.
How low are we as a franchise when we're reminiscing over Kyle Orton days?
You know, honestly, it's like it's kind of a return to normalcy in a way. Because, like, I remember on Sundays just, like, if they, like, having no expectations going into build. Like, going to the games and be like, if we lose by less than 20 points, that's pretty cool.
If we compete, it's a win.
If we compete, yes, especially against like New England, it was like, dude, if we're tied going into the fourth quarter, the stadium is going to come down.
Welcome to 2008, everyone.
2008.
I know, we just got in a time machine and went back to the drought. Although I did text my mom last night. I texted my mom, and I said something to the effect of, Jerron McDermott strikes again.
You texted that us too, and I died laughing. Yes. Oh, jeez. He was that's like, and I saw somebody on Twitter, it said like, well, we know what it would have been like if Dick Jerron had stumbled into an elite quarterback, and it's like, y'all, you were like, we remember when Dick Jerron was the coach of the Bills. Sorry, I'm hacking over here.
Boo, Matt.
Jeez.
Boo.
It was bringing up the bad memories of the Jerron era teams that made me start hacking. It made me sad.
I will say, before I get my quick thoughts off, that was an all-time rant by Parker.
That was a good one.
That might be the best rant in fifth quarter history so far.
That was a good one. Yeah.
Thank you. Like, it really did come from the heart. I spent some time sitting here just thinking, what can I say in the most PG appropriate
like
way
pacing
about
back
my
and forth
feelings.
before the show.
I was pacing in my room before I came here, and I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna let it come from the heart. I'm gonna pretend that my mom is like, I'm talking to my mom right now, and that's what I'm gonna go with.
Yeah.
Hi, Mom, by the way.
He had the hand motion going, hands were going
Yes.
everywhere.
Are you really like an emphatic sports radio talk host if you don't actively have like passionate speeches and are like using your hand? Like, I do that on Big Blue all the time. Like, the last year, my best Big Blue rant to date, I think, was the Bills-Jets game rivaled it. But my best Big Blue rant was last year after the Sabres lost at home to Toronto, and they were down like 4-0 in the first period.
The Ryan O'Reilly hat trick game.
The Ryan O'Reilly hat trick game, when people on Twitter were like, Sabres fans are not loyal because they're not selling out the barn. I went on for 5 minutes. I was like, you know what? Then you pay for my ticket. You pay for my parking.
Don't forget the hot dog too, Matt.
Don't forget, yes, the concessions. I brought up that point too. Jeez, I'm going to listen to the recording of this in like 2 weeks and be like, jeez.
You're
like,
fired up.
Man.
Anywho. Back to the current day.
Back to the, now that we're done reminiscing about 2010.
One of the things that I really took away, I watched the Sean McDermott post-game press conference. They asked him, he said, why didn't you run tempo? Why did it take you so long to run tempo, which worked so well last week?
Yep.
And want to know what his answer to that was? I don't know. Like, you're the head coach of the football team.
There you go.
Why
there you
is
go,
that
Parker.
the answer? Every week. Why is that the answer? It's mediocrity, and I feel like I'm sitting ordering the same thing from Cranston every single day, but except it's a Bills thing on my television. I have season tickets, and I'm about to sell them. Not next week because I have to take my mom to that game, and I'm so looking forward to it. But I'm about to sell them and just never buy it. I'm sorry. What were you saying, Mitch?
I don't know how we can even get back on track after that.
Parker now standing up, head in the wall. The bad day. But yeah, I mean, we got to get off the Bills because this is just an emotional roller coaster for us.
Kincaid is wide receiver too, and I stand by that, by the way.
He is.
Oh, and how good was he last night, apart from the fumble? Jeez.
Don't even get me started on Twitter on the fumble.
Oh. It's an unfortunate rookie mistake. Other than that, though, he was remarkable
Amazing.
last night. He was
should
really
be the
good.
wide receiver too.
Absolutely. Yep.
Speaking of wide receiver too, similar situation. They asked Josh Allen, "Hey, why did Gabe Davis not catch a single ball?" I don't know. We got to go back and watch the film. Like, what do you mean? That's just lack of preparation. That's lack of execution. I just don't understand. This is the game. You had what, 8 months?
Yeah.
To prepare for this. This is a team that dominated you on national television.
Yep. Knocked you out.
Ended your season, and you come up and you look like.
Yeah, they came up empty-handed. I mean, they looked like they had no answer.
There's just no excuse. There really is no excuse.
Yeah, and Ken Dorsey, too, talking about he said that they didn't run no huddle a lot because the crowd noise was affecting them. I'm like, what? Like, come on.
Crowd noise is about to be affecting them at home, too, if they can't figure it out.
Yeah,
a
I'm
great
waiting for the
point.
Boo Birds to come out. I tell you, if they struggle on Monday night, those Boo Birds are going to come out because they're already out on Twitter or, X.
Yeah,
And-
it's Twitter.
Sorry,
if
Elon.
we don't win on Monday night, there may be a video of me pounding my head against a cement wall at the Bills Stadium for you on Tuesday morning.
Parker's going to start the...
My mom is probably
The
like, oh, my
demolition of
mom is
Highmark
probably
Stadium.
sitting at home listening right now like, oh, the Bills better win.
Yes. I mean, like, I'm taking my friend to her first ever Bills game next week. Come on, Buffalo. Please come through for us.
I will just say this.
Here we go.
one last
Get it
thing.
out, Parker.
I just want to be positive. I just want to give a quick shout out to my brother's team here. Minnesota can figure out how to win a game. Thank you, Josh Dobbs.
Yeah, they did.
Because he's making fun of me for it, and honestly, I accept it.
That was crazy. Like,
That was amazing.
the fact that this man rolls in, and he's been there for like 4 days.
Doesn't
And-
even know his wide receivers' names.
Yeah.
Or the guy that's he's teaching them their cadence
Yeah.
during the national anthem.
Yeah.
Also, he said when he was running those plays, that was the first time he was repping those plays.
Yeah.
That's insane. Also, one more thing about Josh Dobbs. Me and my friend talked about this. He's a rocket scientist. He has a job at NASA
It's awesome.
lined up after he retired from
Yeah,
football.
doesn't he have an aerospace
That is
engineering
awesome.
So, how difficult do you think it is for him to understand football plays?
degree? Minimal.
Like, they show him a playbook. You gotta be like, okay.
Yeah, dude's got like the eidetic memory going. He's
Literally, like, it's gotta be
sees it and like boom,
easy.
he's got it.
Yeah. All right.
Jeez.
Well, now that Parker doesn't know who he is anymore.
Bills ran over from.
Going crazy. Now to another team that we don't like.
Another
Kansas
team
City.
that we don't like.
Yeah, we don't really hide our bias. In the fifth quarter.
Me and Matt both woke up early. I don't know if Parker did.
Yeah, we did.
I woke up with about 5 minutes left in the game.
Rough night from Parker on Saturday. Rough night.
I was sick.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah,
he
he
actually
was
was,
sick
yeah.
this whole weekend. Yeah. Well, the Chiefs improved to 7-2, and the Dolphins fall to 6-3 with the final score of 21-14. I mean, can we just admit the Dolphins are frauds?
I mean,
Is it time?
hit it, Parker.
We're off the Bills. We're off the Bills.
Here we go.
We're off the Bills. We're off the Bills.
Mitch, you talk.
Like, I just like. I don't know if I would call them frauds, but it's definitely a little bit of a concern that, like, you can't beat teams with a winning record. Like, if you want to be successful, if you want to get to the promised land, if you want to get to, say, the AFC title game or the Super Bowl, whatever, you've got to be able to beat good teams. And the Dolphins right now can't do that. I mean, look at 14 points. I mean, Kansas City's got a defense that has played well this year, but Kansas City does not have like an elite defense. 14 points.
And arguably, this game is 14-14 at the end of regulation without the Tyreek Hill fumble, by the way.
Yeah.
Which I just have to say, that play, the awareness of, I can't remember who it was
Mike
on the
Edwards.
defense. Mike
Oh, the
Edwards.
lateral, yeah.
Just lateral it back for a return. That's smart football.
Absolutely.
But
That's what makes the Chiefs so good.
Obviously, Miami, arch rival, they're in the AFC East.
Yeah.
But I think they almost should be as concerned as the Bills are right now if you can't beat good teams.
Yep.
And Miami has a much healthier defense than we have right now.
Yeah, absolutely.
So there's no reason
Doesn't
that they
everybody.
shouldn't be. Well, yeah. Sorry, there's no reason that they shouldn't be And their defense is doing their part. Why is their offense not beating? They have an offense. I mean, obviously, I know.
Clearly.
I believe Jalen Waddle got injured slightly.
He did.
Game,
Yes, he did.
So, I mean, you have Tyreek Hill, Jalen Waddle. You have Raheem Mostert is healthy still. Obviously, you don't have Devin Achane, right?
Yeah, A-Chain. Devon A-Chain, yeah.
Sorry, Devon A-Chain. So, but still, you have a pretty much healthy offense. I mean, what's not clicking there during these important games? Because they have losses to the Eagles, correct? Eagles,
Bills,
and Chiefs.
And the Chiefs,
And I don't know, and I don't even know what to say for them.
They've had a couple of close ones too. I mean, don't forget they almost lost to the Patriots back in week 2.
They did. It was close.
Yeah, I mean, or was it? It might have been week 1. No, it was week 2, wasn't it?
I believe
it was week 2.
The second Sunday night football game.
Yeah, it was week 2. Yeah, but it's like 14. I mean, we know they put 70 on the Broncos, so clearly their offense is good. Like Tua's numbers, and that might have been what you were about to say, Parker. But Tua threw for 193 yards. Are you kidding me?
I mean, 193 and 1 touchdown. I mean, Patrick Mahomes didn't even look good either. I mean, 185 yards and 2 touchdowns.
Which is his 5th game under 200 yards in his career.
Is that Mahomes or
Mahomes?
Yeah. Wow.
How crazy is that both Tua and Mahomes were held to under 200 yards passing in that game? That's wild. I mean,
if I'm looking at the stats, though, 193 to 185, and then the Dolphins' rushing yards, I would honestly think the Dolphins win this game.
In theory, you would think, right?
The Dolphins, I mean...
The fumble.
The fumbles.
That's a big spot in the game.
Up on these stats, yeah. I mean, it just... I don't know.
You look at the Kansas City receiving stats.
Oh, they're
leading receiver, 30
Noah Gray for 34 yards.
Noah Gray.
Also, what is Travis Kelce doing without his wonderful little girl in attendance?
Jeez.
14 yards.
You had to bring Taylor Swift.
I had to bring Taylor Swift.
Come on now.
But she's not there and he plays awful. I mean, he's expected basically to be their wide receiver 1 right now.
He does statistically play better in games that Taylor Swift is in attendance.
That's exactly right.
Which is crazy,
we're not getting this ball on right now. This ball is stopping right now. We're not.
I was gonna say, you don't want me
going
off about Taylor Swift. Mitch has
I
seen
went off
me.
about the Bills now. It's Nat Swifty time. And
my sister just texted us calling us Swifties. We gotta stop.
Mitch has seen me singing and dancing to Taylor Swift. That's why he wants this to stop right now.
Yes, me too.
Well, in one way it could stop is we could go to a break.
That sounds like a perfect plan. We'll be right back.
Yeah, sounds good. We'll be back in a few.
Walking through the park, woo, woo.
Fatality.
What was that? Oh no, I forgot. I have to like and follow Fredonia Radio on Facebook by 11:59 tonight, or else...
Fatality.
No, I need to do it now. This is your sign to do it too, dear listener, or else...
Fatality.
Okay, this is actually getting kind of annoying. Mysterious Mortal Kombat announcer, I liked and followed Fredonia Radio on Facebook, so stop playing that stupid sound, or else...
Fatality.
And we are back. We're going to keep the ball rolling. We're going to head to an AFC North game. Well, not AFC North, but the team that won in the AFC North. I apologize. The Ravens looked amazing once again. They beat up on the Seahawks 37-3. Ravens are now 7-2, tied for first place in the AFC with the Kansas City Chiefs. Are the Ravens legit? I think they are.
The Ravens. Yeah. Caw-caw. That's not the sound. I was trying to think of their little cheer, but
I don't even know.
No, the Ravens are definitely back.
Totally. That is a really good football team in Baltimore. Their defense right now is on another level.
Arguably like the 2000 team.
Ooh, that's
a crazy shout out, Parker.
I saw it on X, not Twitter.
Yes,
but I'm calling it Twitter, anyways. I saw that argument on Twitter that this is a defense that could carry Baltimore.
Yeah,
like the 2000 team did.
How much carrying do they need? They rushed for 298 yards.
Yeah,
well,
they don't.
There's
have to
a little bit of an exception,
much.
But per se, if their offense is bad, they have an offense that can do it.
I also saw this on X or Twitter. Do we get in trouble if we call it Twitter?
No.
I wasn't sure if that was a
I was
radio
just
rule.
Nah, I was making a joke.
But I saw it on Twitter, and it's very true.
Yeah.
Every time the Ravens go off, Lamar doesn't have that big of a game. It's very weird.
No, not really.
Yesterday, he had 21 for 26, 187, 60 rushing yards, no touchdowns.
Yeah.
Like, it's weird. I don't know how to explain it.
Yeah, I mean, he doesn't need to carry the team, It's I think that the Ravens defense, the thing about the 2000 team is that, like, they actually played a total cupcake of schedules of opposing quarterback schedules. But, yeah.
That's it. Keaton Mitchell averaged 15 yards per carry yesterday.
Jeez.
It's first NFL game, too.
Wow.
Keaton Mitchell's him.
This guy, I mean, yeah.
138 rushing yards on 9 attempts.
Yeah, he's been a hot fantasy pickup.
He has.
Oh, my team needs it.
27 points out
My
of
team
Brees
does
Hall
not.
tonight. Go Brees Hall. Made a big boy trade for him after week 1.
Go.
Traded Brandon Cooks and Dameon Pierce for Brees Hall.
Okay.
Big boy move. His stock
Okay.
was the lowest it'll ever be. Had a couple rough weeks after that, but after past 2-3 weeks, he's been 20 plus every week.
I'm still trying to trade for a tight end. But honestly, right now, after the way Cole Kmet played on Sunday, I might not need a tight end.
I needed a tight end because George Kittle's on bye. I'm sitting here and I'm looking. Irv Smith Jr. or the tight end for the Chargers.
Gerald Everett?
Jared Leverett.
No, the other one. Parham.
Oh, yeah,
Donald
Donald Parham. Yeah.
So I'm like, you know what? The Bills, they've been playing good defense. Yep,
Ooh.
there goes Irv Smith with a good fantasy game, and I have Donald Parham, so
Ooh.
go Donald Parham.
Hey,
and
maybe
Eckler
he'll have a good
tonight.
game.
Maybe.
Hopefully. I'm
Against the
winning
Jets,
by
though?
10 right now, and I have Eckler and Parham to play, and the other
Oh, you
guy
might
has, I think, the
Parham.
Jets.
Parham.
Parham.
Don't get upset. But I mean, another thing about the Ravens just being very, very good.
Yeah, and they are.
So they showed it on the broadcast yesterday. So they had 5 road games in their first 9 games. One of them was in London, one of them was in Arizona, and they only have 3 road games left in the last 8 games. And
Yeah.
they're 7-2. They have a lot of divisional game coming up, so they'll have to win those. Obviously, that division is a dogfight. It's just, I don't even know what's gonna happen, but I mean, they look very good. They won all their games. They had a very tough start to the schedule just in terms of travel. And now they get 5 out of 8 to end the year at home.
Yeah. I mean, do we think the Ravens could potentially be the number 1 seed in the AFC?
I think yes.
They can. Their schedule is they have to go out to the 49ers.
That's going to be tough.
I believe they have to play the Chargers at the Chargers. But then I think they have a lot of, like, their divisional games. Okay, yeah. So they go home versus the Browns, home versus the Bengals. Then they go at the Chargers, home versus the Rams, at the Jaguars, which is a tough game,
Yeah.
at the 49ers, home versus the Dolphins, home versus the Steelers.
And
Jeez.
not even to mention, though, even just looking at, like, the Bengals, Chargers, Jaguars, and 49ers games, all primetime, too.
Yeah. Yeah, they're going to be
So
on a national stage.
even more national pressure. I don't think have they had, what, 1 primetime game so far? have they even had
Yes. I think. Haven't they had one?
Have they?
I don't think, can pull up that thing
Oh my
again,
gosh, maybe
just
they
to
haven't.
verify. I don't think they have, because they weren't primetime against, I don't think they have not been
Really?
primetime at all.
They played in London at that.
Yeah, but
Oh, yeah.
I don't know if you could.
I don't consider that prime. It's everyone's watching, but
Right.
I mean, I don't know. I think they averaged 7 yards to carry as a team.
it's crazy.
They're
Wow.
up to 4.8 in the league on yard per carry. And this stat was interesting. So they're 4th in the league with 4.8 yards per carry.
Yep.
Guess the 3 teams ahead of them. Parker's looking at my notes, so
I'm
he
not
already
going to say
cheated.
it, so I already saw it. I will tell you, Matt, though, I don't. These are in order, right?
Yeah. 1, 2, 3.
I don't think you're going to get 2 of them.
No. the one is
one should be easy.
Miami?
Miami did the 1.
Okay.
These are the 2 I don't think you're going to
They're
get.
2 AFC teams. I'll say that.
Is Buffalo on the list?
No.
Oh, I was going to
That is
say.
a funny joke
I was
right
going to
there.
say. Oh, jeez. AFC teams. You got to think like good running backs or good running quarterbacks.
Do you?
Dude, this one you're not gonna get. You're gonna be like, how is this on the list?
There's absolutely no way it's Matt Canada's Pittsburgh Steelers. is
No,
it?
no.
That would
You got
have
a
made me.
little bit too ahead of yourself.
I would have fallen off the stool if that was
I'll
the
give
case.
you one more hint. One's on the East Coast. One's arguably a West Coast team.
Is Kansas City on the list?
No.
No,
Oh,
You're close, though.
I'm close.
you are.
What? The Colts maybe?
No,
Texans?
no.
You're getting further away.
Jeez.
You were
Getting
close with
further
KC. Like,
away?
when I mean close, I mean you're in their division.
They're both AFC.
Yes. You want another hint? I
The
feel like this might
Chargers?
give it away. No.
Raiders?
No.
No.
Third. It's the third team.
Are you kidding me? The Broncos?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, they're at 3. Now you got to get 2. 2 is also in the AFC. You
Oh my-
haven't said their name yet.
Jeez. Is it the? Is it like,
Say it.
like the Jets?
It is the
Is it
Jets.
the Jets? Really?
Yeah,
I mean, they Brees
Wow.
Hall ran for how much on us?
he's him. He's really him.
Jeez.
So, I think
That's
moral
crazy.
of the story: the Ravens are legit contenders.
Oh,
That's
absolutely.
the moral of the story. Moving on, we're not going to talk much. Oh, do I got something to say real quick? All right, never mind. We're not going to speak much on the game, although the game was very, very exciting. CJ Stroud with
Man
possibly
alive.
the best quarterback game in rookie NFL history.
I think it's got to be.
I think it's got to be.
I can't think of one that would be better. 470 yards, 5 touchdowns.
Most yards by a rookie all time.
That's crazy.
That is crazy.
He led a 70-yard, 40-second touchdown drive to win the game.
Yeah.
To Tank Dell, which
Tank Dell is
I was
good,
on
too.
Team Tank Dell around draft time. I
Tank
really
Dell is
wanted Tank
really
Dell.
good too.
I just think that the Houston receiving stat line is absolutely fascinating. 6 for 153 to Noah Brown.
Noah Brown in a big game too.
10 for 130 to Dalton Schultz. Shout out fantasy tight end last year.
There you go.
And 6 to 114 for Tank Dell. And then 3 to 54 for Nico Collins. And that tops
Wow.
off all of them with
Spreading
their
the wealth.
5 touchdowns too. And then Metke got involved, Andrew Beck, Devin Singletary, 2
Singletary.
receptions for 0 yards.
Yeah, that's about right. Oh, man.
But, you know, they looked good.
Yeah, they did. Their offense. Think the Texans could make the playoffs?
I don't want to say it, but
There's a
I
chance-
was thinking
it's
that
just the
yesterday.
fact that they are right now and going into week
9,
week
10.
9, 10.
Yeah, this was week 9. Jeez.
Everything's fumbled with my Bills rant here. But going into week 10, they're at what people projected them for their win total for the year.
Wow. Good for them, though.
Want to know who they're half a game behind right now?
Don't tell me Jacksonville.
Buffalo Bills.
No. Oh,
They're half a game behind the Bills. They're 4-4. We're 5-4.
oh my.
Welcome to the 90s. Except the 90s teams, managed to win in the regular season and then
The
just...
Texans went around in the 90s.
Yes.
What are you talking
I
about?
was
just
gonna
referring to
say.
the Bills here because everything is coming back to
gonna
the
say.
Bills right now.
The Oilers were.
Earlier, we're good.
The Oilers were. They were decent. They made the playoffs a couple times, except they
Speaking of which, the
blew a 35-3 lead in the playoffs, though.
Texans should be the ones wearing the Oilers uniform.
I
I
agree.
say that real quick.
I agree. It's their city's history.
It is. It
Yep.
is.
The Titans left. They don't deserve it.
Keep the ball rolling here. We're going to make
Yeah.
our way into college football. But before we do that, we have a quick word from our station.
On the air at 88.9 WCVF. We are the campus and community voice of Fredonia.
We got 2 games on the college football slate to talk about here. We had I don't say surprisingly good game because I really like this team, but I think it was closer than a lot of people thought it would be. The Georgia Bulldogs took down the Missouri Tigers 30-21. Georgia stays undefeated on the year. They're now 9-0. Missouri falls to 7-2, but I think that's a very, very good season for them. I don't think anyone really had
Yeah.
Missouri being good.
They were right in it. There were a few calls that did not go Missouri's way that possibly should have in that game. It was Coach Drinkwitz was not happy. He was not, but I'll put my SEC bias aside there.
So, Georgia, do you think Georgia should be back No, son, they're number one in the AP ranking still. College football. No, they're not. I'm getting their college football ranking for number 2.
Sorry.
There you go.
Parker's jumping the gun here. But I mean, college football ranking is the only one that matters at this point. Do we think they should be back in their throne and be the number 1 team when the rankings come out tomorrow night?
Yes.
Unfortunately, yes.
There's two SEC fans in here.
I'm an
Yep.
Ohio State fan.
Yep. And we're going to be one.
Hey, all our teams won on Saturday.
I'd rather see Ohio State be one than Georgia. Georgia and
about that.
Alabama can just
Right
disappear
about that,
for
my
a couple
friend.
years and let some other teams get a fair competitive
Absolutely.
advantage here, you know.
I love that
That's
idea.
a whole different conversation.
Just wait until the 5th quarter when we get the rivalry week.
Ooh.
I'm scared for the show after rivalry because we won have one before because that's Thanksgiving week.
Oh, yeah.
But the 5th quarter, first week in December, that's going to be interesting.
We're either going to get the most fired up Matt has ever been or the most sad Matt has ever been.
Well, yeah.
Who does Auburn play that week? Just
Who do you
remind
think
me.
Auburn plays that week?
Listen, it's Georgia.
Who's their rival?
What did you just? No,
Listen,
they already played Georgia.
I don't remember. I'm not.
Who is
100%.
Auburn's biggest rival on planet Earth?
The Iron Bowl?
I'm so brain dead right now.
I'll give you a hint. Leonard Skinner has a song, "Sweet Home Blank."
Nobody likes Alabama.
Well, a lot of people like Alabama. The hosts of
don't.
the hosts of this show just happen to not. But
My friend Jack is a quote-unquote Bama fan, and it pains me every time. Every week, like, oh, go Bama. He'll post the Bama hype videos on his Instagram story.
ugh, jeez,
I just want to comment hate comments and just ruin his day. Makes
just
me upset.
decidedly anti.
Yes.
We should have just, you know what? For the 5th quarter, we should have just had just an hour dedicated to how much we can't stand Alabama.
We got so many good ideas for the radiothon now.
I was actually when I was in the reason why I wasn't on the 5th quarter last week is because I was down in Atlanta for the Associated Collegiate Press Conference. And while we were down there, I was actually in a press session with 2 writers for the Crimson White, which is the University of Alabama's college newspaper.
That's cool.
And we were sitting in there and they were asking, so who's everybody's favorite college football team? And I'm just kind of sitting there like, okay. I'm sitting next to 2 writers for the Crimson White. I'm in Atlanta, Georgia. Can I really say that I'm an Auburn Tigers fan? Like, I wore my Auburn shirt in downtown Atlanta last week because we went to the College Football Hall of Fame as well. And I stood next to the National Championship Trophy, which is the closest Auburn will ever get to the National
I was just gonna
Championship
say,
Trophy.
I don't think it's going to be making its way to Auburn anytime
Hey, we've
soon.
won it before. Not that one, the BCS
I have my
one, but
1998 hopes still alive.
my 2000. I'm hoping that Auburn's going to inherit another Cam Newton and just go on a 2010 like run, or you know what, 2013. That's why I believe in. That's why I watch Auburn, because in 2013 it made literally no sense for them to be as good as they were. They had 2 miracle finishes in back-to-back games.
It was beautiful. Wasn't it again Georgia and Bama?
Yes, it was.
back-to-back?
Their
'Cause
2
it was
biggest
the-
rivals.
It was like the Hail Mary, bounce
Yep.
off the Georgia player,
The
hit
prayer
wide
of Jordan
receiver in-
Hare.
hit the wide receiver in stride, and then
Yeah, it was a
kick
4th
six.
and 18. Nick Marshall just lofted it, and the 2 Georgia defenders went up for it, and they both knocked it up in the air, and Ricardo Lewis was right there. Ball fell right into his hands. And then Auburn said, we can top that. And then Chris Davis returned the missed field goal return for a touchdown to beat Bama in the Iron Bowl.
And Auburn is going to win the football game.
Auburn's going to win the
That they
football
say.
game.
That they say.
That's right. As old Rod Bramblett said. He was the Auburn announcer. He passed away a few years ago.
R.I.P. Rest in peace.
He was great,
Also,
too.
Real quick, rest in peace, Matthew Perry.
Oh,
give a
I
quick shout
know.
out.
I know.
That is
Legend.
so sad.
That's Friends is my favorite show of all time, and that was just so heartbreaking.
Hurt your heart.
It does. I mean, he was such a phenomenal actor, and Chandler Bing was so relatable to all of us. I mean,
Had to
felt
pour,
like you lost a friend.
had to pour a couple out for the man, the big man upstairs. You know,
Literally, it's like you felt like you lost a close friend.
you did.
Yeah.
It was sad. Yeah, to somehow wrap this back up.
Yeah,
to,
yeah.
to Georgia, Missouri
Sad.
somehow. I mean, Carson Beck, I don't think anyone expected him to play
Sorry, the Bonnies hit a
this
3-0
well.
celebrating.
Yeah, Bonnies. Go Bonnies.
Sorry, I have
Oh,
the.
Matt's watching the Bonnie game
I
right
have.
now?
I am a loyal St. Bonaventure Bonnies fan. I have my Bonnies jacket and Bonnies hat on. I'm, you know, it's a hometown thing, so I'm proud of the Bonnies, and they're playing right now. It's their first game, so
Who are they playing?
they're playing Longwood. I've never heard of Longwood.
Oh, weren't they in the tournament last year?
They might have been. They probably were. I don't
They
know.
were.
Never heard of them either.
They probably were from a smaller conference. Yeah, Bonas is up 5 at the half,
Nice.
but that's basketball. Bonas has ended football since the 40s.
Well,
Their
neither
stadium's
has
not.
Fredonia, so.
True.
it's all
The
right.
Bonas Stadium isn't even there anymore. Did you know this? So, this now that I'm thinking of this, you know, like RIT, the Rochester Institute of Technology, they used to have a football team. Did you know that they have had their head coaches in their history, on average, each head coach has 1 Super Bowl win. So, RIT has had they had 2 head coaches in their history. One of their head coaches was Tom Coughlin.
What?
What?
Yes.
You're no.
2-time Super Bowl champion.
No.
He's the
no
coach
shot.
for RIT?
Yes.
What?
I gotta verify.
That's absolutely true.
That's insane.
Yes. They have not had a football team since like the 60s. It was very early
an
in
old
his
guy,
coaching
yeah.
career. Yes. It was very early in his career. But yes, Tom Coughlin coached the RIT Tigers football team.
Can I guess the other one or try to? Would I know it?
I have absolutely no idea who the other one is. I said that on average because they've had 2 coaches and 2 Super Bowl wins for Coughlin. So
Okay. I see what you did there.
I have absolutely no idea who their other coach was. They haven't had a football team since like 1971.
Well, we got to go to the football reference page. Oh, no.
Yes.
Is it true?
Yes, it is.
Yes, it is very true.
Yeah.
1970 to 1973.
73, that's when it was.
And then he went to Syracuse as the quarterbacks coach, offensive coordinator,
Syracuse.
Boston.
Not only that, if we're talking about local defunct football programs and coaching connections, you know, you ever heard of Ted Marchibroda? Ted Marchibroda was the offensive coordinator of the Bills in the early 90s. He was of the K-Gun. Ted Marchibroda played quarterback for the St. Bonaventure football team.
What?
Yes, he did.
I am convinced that this man wakes up, eats a bowl of football knowledge, and then goes to class.
I've got one more, and then I promise I'm done.
No, I'm interested. I want to hear this.
Now that I'm talking about St. Bonaventure football. So St. Bonaventure one year, and I think it was like the early 50s, St. Bonaventure, to start the season, played at home against Louisville. And in that game, Louisville started a freshman quarterback who was playing in his first collegiate game.
Is this a player we're going to know?
Oh, yeah.
Louisville quarterback?
What year are we talking?
Early 50s, might have even been late 40s.
We're talking Dan Marino. I don't know why I felt like saying
What?
Dan Marino for absolutely no
I don't think Dan
reason.
Marino was even born until like 1960.
Sorry. Anyways,
Is it the Viking quarterback, like Franz Turkinen?
Not Fran Tarkenton. No.
did he play for the Vikings?
Is it,
He
is
did
it
not
Joe
play for the
Kemp?
Vikings. You mean Jack Kemp?
Jack Kemp.
No.
That's a solid guess, though.
You know, if you really want to vote for Jack Kemp for presidency, his presidential debate page is still active.
Yes. Parker
just
and I
wanna
found
throw
that out last
there.
week. Yes.
Jack Kemp run for president?
So Jack Kemp ran for vice president with Bob Dole in 1996, and their campaign website is still active.
It is so true. You can literally go watch and
Yep.
read all their campaign speeches.
Neither
It's
Bob
Ja-
Dole
it's,
nor Jack Kemp are
It's
still alive.
Dole Kemp 96, I believe.
Neither
.com
of them are still
or
alive
.org.
either.
Oh, my goodness.
Yes.
See, there it is.
Yes.
You could also go to
goodness.
Clinton Gore 96.
Yes, you can.
Anyways, so which team did this quarterback play for?
This quarterback.
Can you give us the NFL team that played for it?
I can just tell you who it is.
No, I want to guess. That's not fun.
So this quarterback played for the Colts, but they were the Baltimore Colts when he played for them.
Oh, man.
Tip of my tongue.
Oh, is it Johnny Unitas?
It is Johnny Unitas. Johnny Unitas played his first collegiate football game at St. Bonaventure.
Wow.
This
That's a
is
true
crazy.
story.
Do you have any other random facts that honestly, I'm just one more for the.
I can
fans.
I don't
comb
think
through the.
anything will top the Dole Kemp.
Nothing will top the Dole
Website.
Camp
Dole
website.
Camp.
That
I can
website
probably
that
comb
is
through the
on
archives.
my
I don't know.
Laptop right now.
You could literally go read their campaign speeches.
Election day is
Jeez.
tomorrow.
Yes, it
I
is.
am voting for Dolan Kemp.
Dolan Camp. Jeez.
When it says
They lost
other
their
candidate
election
on the
anyways.
ballot, I just put
Dolan
Dole
Kemp.
Kemp.
They-
I'm gonna get a call from the voting people when they're and they're eventually gonna be like in 20 years.
The last today's headline was from November 5th, 1996.
Oh, we just missed
We
it. That was
just missed their
yesterday.
headline. No.
27 years ago yesterday.
You
Josh
can-
Allen
I
was
think you can
born
go
that
look
year.
at- you can literally download lock screens still, if you really want to.
Yo, I'm so gonna make my lock screen.
They came to Buffalo multiple times. Buffalo Orchard
Oh
Park.
yeah, well Jack Kemp played for the Bills. I mean,
So there's plenty. You can go see there. I think you can look up their speeches. Anyways,
I can't think of any more fun football facts. The only one that's coming to my mind is a hockey one.
do it. Why not?
It was
There's 4 quarters in hockey
So-
We
with
got so
overtime.
far from
So Sylvain Turgeon was a hockey player for the Ottawa Senators in the early 90s. And on his, I think it was like a 93, 94, upper deck hockey card, whatever. It was they show pictures of game action on hockey cards. And it was a game of Sylvain Turgeon playing against the Sabres, who was in Buffalo. And it's a picture of Sylvain Turgeon, he's up against the glass.
Don't tell me your mom is on the card.
No. So in the background, in the front row, you can see a father and a young boy, a boy about maybe 6 or 7 years old.
Can I guess?
Go
Is
ahead.
it Alex Tuck?
It is not Alex Tuck.
Oh,
It is
that was a good guess.
It
though.
is an NHL player, though.
right now. It's
Yes,
Patrick Kane.
it is Patrick Kane.
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
you can. It's the Sylvain Turgeon. And there's 93, 94 upper deck. A 7-year-old Patrick Kane is sitting in the background.
Arguably, Patrick Kane rookie card.
That's the joke that people make. Yes,
That's cool.
it is crazy, but yes, that is absolutely 100% real. That's all. That's
We have gotten so off topic
we.
here.
I don't even.
We got 5 minutes left before.
It was my fault. I was watching
We
the
wrap it
Bonnies.
No, this is electric.
This is
electric.
a good show.
I will say, I interviewed Nate Geary last year for Intro to Journalism.
Are you serious?
Yes, for a project. Because he went to Frontier, so we have a Frontier connection.
Oh wow.
Yeah, I interviewed him. And one of the things he talked about was on radio. He said, it's okay to not get to everything you want to talk to if the conversation is flowing. He said,
Yeah.
listener would rather listen to an engaging conversation than whatever you had planned.
Yeah, I like that.
So I will say
like
that
that.
real quick.
I like that.
Shout out to that dude.
Nate Geary.
Gotta say.
Nate Geary. I've never
Twitter-
met Nate
Twitter
Geary.
legend.
I have met Joe DiBiase. I met Shope and the Bulldog about 5 years ago. I actually got a WGR station tour when I was 14.
I have a
It
picture
was
that
fun.
you guys will enjoy.
With Nate
real
Geary, that's awesome.
quick. Not with Nate Geary. With someone
I
else.
think my biggest claim to fame of sport people that I've spoken
Yeah.
to is interviewing the associate EHL commissioner.
No, that's cool though.
I just
That's
casually
sick.
have his number. He's like, yeah, call me whenever you have
Oh
questions
my-
about hockey. Is that Sally?
That is
Sal.
Why not Sally?
that is
but I
Mitch
just
with
felt
Sal Capaccio that we're looking at right now.
And my
And
friend
he's
Josh.
supporting breast cancer.
That
right
is
there.
awesome.
100%.
My senior year of high school, my high school football team were pretty good. We made it to the stadium, and
Yeah.
we were playing. Don't shout out Lockport.
I am shutting out Lockport. go Lockport. Anyone that has Lockport connection, they are going to the sectional championship.
Yes, they are.
Thursday night at Highmark Stadium against Clarence, who's undefeated, and this is Lockport's year to shine. So go Lions! They're going to win. I just need to shout them out.
Okay.
But yeah, it's the backstory behind the Sal Capaccio photo. They, each week, they broadcast a local high school football game. And I forget who we were playing, but we were playing a decent school in our conference. And it was the BCA game. We did a pink out the whole student section. I think we only had one loss on the year. We lost at Jamestown by one score.
Oh.
So we were a pretty good team.
Yeah.
And then they were doing the play-by-play. He was doing the play-by-play,
That's
and he just
awesome.
walked by to go up to the press booth, and I was like, Sal Capaccio? What are you doing here?
That is
It's like the
awesome.
Spider-Man meme, where I was just like, what? And he's like,
That's
what's up,
awesome.
man? Then he got a picture. He was like, can I get a picture with your student section? And I was like, yeah. And he just took a picture with the whole student section.
I love Sal. Oh,
That is a cool one.
we actually had a
My
family.
friend Conrad, who's listening, was on the football team. We were playing South Park.
Oh,
South Park.
Thank you, Conrad.
we actually had a family friend of ours. Is a middle school teacher at Orchard Park, and
Ooh.
at the beginning of last year, I think it was, they had a teacher conference day or whatever, and Sean McDermott actually Zoom conferenced in, and our family friend got a Christmas card from Sean McDermott.
From zooming into the conference? Or
No,
was there
I think
another
it's because he like had one of his kids in class or something like that.
Oh, that's so cool.
Yeah, he had like Thurman Thomas's son one year. Like it was
That's cool.
crazy.
So if you ever want to become a teacher,
Teach
go
at Orchard
teach
Park, man.
at Orchard Park.
Come on now. Yeah, I just remember he had like the year that the Snowvember storm hit, because his wife is also a family friend of ours, and she teaches at North Tonawanda. And that year, he had like a week and a half straight off of school because they couldn't get through to the school.
Yeah, I had like
Yeah.
a week and a half off.
She didn't have a
It's
single
amazing.
day off at North Tonawanda
Yeah.
because they had like no snow up there. Mm-hmm. Jeez.
So that just about wraps it up. Thank you guys for tuning in. We will be back, or I will be back next weekend.
Yes. Parker and I will both be at the Bills-Broncos game next Monday night.
Pray for us. Please.
Yes. So
So-
we actually will not talk to you for a little while then because
Oh, we won't.
November 20th is going to be
Thanksgiving.
over break.
Yep.
So November 27th is the next time we will talk to you. That is the Monday after rivalry week.
We will have a fired up show for you guys.
That's going to be a
That
fun
will be
one.
the show to tune into right
Absolutely.
there. If you weren't hyped enough at this one, that week.
That's going to be a
November-
big one.
That
November
was gonna be
27th after Ohio State, Michigan, after the Iron Bowl.
after Tennessee Vanderbilts. I mean, yeah,
The
that's
Egg Bowl. Get some love for the Egg Bowl.
Oh yeah, Egg Bowl's electric.
Ole Miss, Mississippi State. That's going to be a blowout.
So yeah, tune in next week to hear me talk straight for an hour because what else
Yeah.
would you rather do on a Monday night?
And then you can roll right into watching the Bills.
exactly.
All righty. Good
Thank
night,
you guys for
everybody.
tuning in.
Have a good
night.
one, everyone.